My name is Silva Hansen and I'm 13 years old. I really like going to the gym and working out, and I also like any type of art like painting or drawing, and I also really like cooking and baking. Being a 13-year-old, it's pretty overwhelming. I know a lot of people say 8th grade is like one of the hardest years in middle school. And middle school in general is really difficult just because there's a lot of changes, and change is really hard for pretty much anybody. In the beginning of my 8th grade year, I kind of had a lot of things that kind of contributed to probably the kind of spiral that I went down. And I remember telling my therapist, this is the worst I've ever felt. I've never felt anything like this. I wrote my mom a letter saying everything I was feeling and kind of telling her that I didn't really feel safe and that I felt like I wanted like support and that I just needed to get it out. At the end of the letter, I also mentioned that I had started like self-harming again, because I did in 6th grade, except this time it was like worse. I felt like I needed people to like stop me from having those urges. The day I stepped into Amber Wing, I was really nervous about it. I didn't know what to expect. I was nervous about what the people would be like. I was really comfortable with all the staff and my group members. I had bonded with them and made a relationship with them. I felt much more confident to take myself out of if I was having like a crisis. I felt a lot more confident that I would be able to stop it or prevent it. I learned a lot of like skills, like everyday coping skills that you can use when you're kind of in crisis, you're really not in a good spot, or when you're just like a little overwhelmed or something like that.
My name is Katie Schmitz and I'm Silva's mom. Silva is a great kid. She's always been very observant and tuned into other people's feelings and emotions. She doesn't want to inconvenience other people. Outwardly, everything looks good, you know, like she's doing well in school, making friends. So when Silva shared the letter with me about how she was really doing, I was not aware that that was where she was at. I was so grateful that she felt comfortable to share with me where she was really at, and I wanted to make sure that she knew that I was hearing her and that we were gonna do something about it and get her the support that she needed. We saw her therapist and she recommended Amber Wing, and I was familiar with the program and had heard a lot of positive things about it. So we called right away. She felt lighter. She felt more like a kid, like a 13-year-old kid instead of somebody with more weight on their shoulders.
My name is Scott Hansen and I'm Silva's dad. You want to fix it and you feel like, what did we do to make this happen? Really felt good to work together with her mom and try to figure out how to help. I would say that all of us in the family have learned how to communicate better and how to listen more and recognize the signs of emotional struggles, anxiety, isolation.
I just want people to know that this is a resource in the community. We need more of this resource in the community. It takes time to get into it. It's a very, there's not enough of it. It's such a challenge to negotiate the mental health system.
Listen to your kids. If they reach out, take it seriously. Really try to support them and get them help if they need it. Don't be afraid.
I would tell someone who is starting to struggle I know it's really hard, but to just like tell someone. It can be through a note like I did, or a text message, or anything that you want, like a letter, because it is hard, like telling someone face to face that you're struggling. But I think getting help earlier on when you're feeling those feelings is definitely helpful, because if you wait too long, it might be harder to kind of feel better.